Happy New Comic Book Day, webheads! I just got back from the comic book shop and I'm going to share with you what I picked up right now. Hey, all you webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer. Get ready to bring you Spider Slayer's comic book haul. Guys, this is episode 409. So if you're a long-time viewer and webhead, guys, welcome back. And if you're a new-time viewer, welcome to the channel. And if you like this video series and you want to subscribe to the channel and be part of the webhead community, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, fans, hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. So I don't think this week was a very heavy week for comic books, but I'm going to show you what I got anyway. I don't think there's ever really truly a light week in comic books for me. All right, so here we go. Mysterious Black Bag is right here, and I'm not doing it in the car this week. I got a chance to do it at home. So here we go. Let's see what we got this week. And the Mysterious Black Bag contains comic books. And let's see what we have. So here is our stack. Boom, right there. And let's get started. I got to move last week's books out of the way to make room for this week's books. Okay, so the first thing we wound up getting is Marvel comic, and this is X-Men issue 5, as we get to see here. As the last one seemed to be a little bit like in the boardroom meeting, a lot of exposition, and so hopefully the action ramps up when it comes to the X-Men in this particular issue here. Here, R.B. Sylvia continues on the artwork, and it looks like we're continuing a story arc that happened, I think, like in the second issue with Apocalypse's kid. But the artwork looks really good in here. We get to see Wolverine in these first couple pages and whatnot. So, and then what is this? Is this like a sentinel that's on a throne? So there's some mystery here in this next issue of X-Men, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this, fans, is issue 5. All right, next, we're going to go on to the next X book this week, and this one goes to X-Force. This is issue 6. I love this cover. This was in my top 10 comic book covers of the week this week, and I love how Beast here is attacking these guys, and he's got his face in the book, right? This continues the story based off of trying to figure out who these people are that are assassinating, Professor Xavier and trying to steal all this Krakoan technology. Here is the interior artwork in this portion of the book here. Looks pretty cool. Was that Abigail Brand in there? So here we get to see some more of this artwork here. So the book looks good. I always like the artwork. Sometimes it feels like it's a little bit rushed, but nevertheless, I think it's a great story. I feel like out of all the X books, it's the most cohesive book out of all of them. All right, so this is X-Force. This is issue 6. All right, next we have Thor. This is issue 2. This is a pretty badass looking cover, as we get to see Thor become the Herald of Galactus, right? And now he has to stop this dark winter or whatever the case may be. And I don't know if this is what happens to people when they get exposed to this dark winter, but it looks pretty intense. I can't wait to read and get into this Donny Cates run. I want to see what he has to tell in this story. Again, his stories are very cosmic-like and affects the whole entire Marvel universe as a whole. So this looks really cool. So yeah, this is Thor issue 2. All right, next, I really enjoyed issue 1 of the Suicide Squad, and here we have issue 2. This is the very few DC comics that I'm getting this particular week. I think maybe there was 11 books for DC Comics this actual week, and there was like 29 Marvel books. So there was a ton, guys, when it came to Marvel. But as expected, this book is kind of violent, and I like it. And I can't wait to see what Tom Taylor has in store for his characters in this series, because he knows how to write good emotional beats, and he knows how to develop characters, and the artwork looks really good too. You get to see Harley in here. Deadshot is in here also. So if you're a fan of Suicide Squad, but yet you want to see some, a mixture of new and the mixture of old, this might be a book for you. So I'm looking forward to this second issue. All right, so next, another number 2 this week. This is Charles Soule's Star Wars. This is issue 2 of this particular series. Looking forward to this one. We get to see Luke Skywalker, who is actually trying to decide what he's going to do, because he just went through this battle with Darth Vader. He found out that this was his father, and no one is answering him, whether it's Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're just like, oh man, what's going to happen to Luke, right? And so I love the time period here as it takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So this is a very important time period for Luke Skywalker and everything that he goes through. We get to see some Lando and the Millennium Falcon. We get to see, this is just a great, I cannot wait to read more of this. The artwork looks good. There looks like there's some pretty good action in here too. And I want to see what happens to Luke Skywalker in this journey between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. All right, so next we have the 3rd issue of Scream, Curse of Carnage. This book is pretty good. It's not maybe the best book. It kind of loosely ties into Absolute Carnage and loosely ties into the Spider-Man universe as Andy has interactions with Aunt May. We get to see this symbiotic like creature pose as like her mother and whatnot. But it does make for a very dark and interesting horror-like book. I'm very curious to see what the long-term goal is in this run. So I'm not too sure there, but it looks pretty cool. I'll see how many issues I can give it. The artwork is definitely out there. And again, if you like that horror tone, I think you'll enjoy the art. So this is Scream. This is issue 3. All right, webheads, next, we're going on to issue 2 of Jessica Jones. This is Blind Spot. That's right, fans. The first issue was really well done, and this one's written by Kelly Thompson. Now, this came out in digital form a while back, and now we have the single issues of this. People are telling me, Mike, if you like this book, you got to pick up the trade for Purple Man. That one was actually better than this, but this is so wonderfully written. I love seeing the point of view of Jessica Jones on how she is this private investigator, and I love the character interactions here between herself and Luke, and that's something that you don't always get to see, right? And then here we get to see some of the other characters in this issue as well. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens going forward in this particular book and this series as a whole. So if you guys want to check out a good read and you're a Jessica Jones fan, I definitely recommend this one. This is issue 2. All right, next, Immortal Hulk, issue 30. This book has dropped down a little bit for me because we've been dealing about this whole Roxxon situation and Hulk dealing with the Minotaur and all that other nonsense. And I want to see some fighting. I want to see some action, right? And this is what we're in hopes for in this particular issue. Now, check out the artwork. This looks like back to form here when it comes to the Immortal Hulk, am I right? So yeah, you got some crazy artwork fighting some crazy creatures, and that's just what I want in this particular book. Look at this thing right here, man. So that's what I loved about Hulk. It's just all these off-the-wall creatures. That's what made this first major story arc so good, because you got to see all these different versions of the Hulks. Okay, so again, looking forward to it. Hopefully it does get back on track. And this is, again, issue 30, guys. All right, next, another new number 1 this week. This one goes to the Avengers Wastelands. That's right, guys. This is straight off the heels of Dead Man Logan, and we get to see Danny Cage. We get to see some guy that picked up the Ant-Man helmet, and Bruce Banner's son, as he's always a Hulk, and it looks like they're in this Wastelands, and they're just the new Avengers of this time period, and it looks like maybe they have to do battle against Doctor Doom here. I think this could be a lot of fun. These series have always been great. And look, we get to see like this weird version of like Ultron. He's like some kind of mechanic in this universe. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great read here. Here's a great artwork page. So if you're, on the fence about this one and maybe art makes a decision for you, hopefully maybe I sold it for you. So we'll see what happens. So that's Avengers of Wastelands issue 1. All right, next, new Amazing Spider-Man book. This is Daily Bugle. This is a limited series. This is issue 1 of 5. Again, this was another one of those books that were on my top 10 comic book covers of the week. And I'm really curious to see, the ins and outs of the Daily Bugle. And I want to see how it becomes relevant in the Marvel Universe again. I want to see Robbie. I want to see all that stuff that's happening in here. Is that Peter? Who is that? Like, Peter kind of looks like, if that's Peter right there, he looks a little old, man. He's like, I'm like 45-year-old Peter, and he's got some big teeth. I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this artwork, but I'm hopeful that this story is good. What is up with that? Yeah, the characters look weird. But again, maybe the story is great, okay? So we'll see what happens. That's what I'm talking about. If artwork sells you on a book, if you make a decision if you're going to buy it or not, sometimes artwork will completely take you out of a story. So we'll see what happens. It's issue 1 of 5. Hopefully it's good. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. All right, next. Independent book. We have issue 17 of The Ice Cream Man. Here we get to see, it's a tribute to Action Comics, and the Ice Cream Man is like Superman, and he's holding his ice cream truck. I think it's really cool. And this book is just creepy. You never know what you're going to get out of this book when it comes out each and every week. Okay. But look, man, it's like, it's got the Daily Planet going on. So like, it's legit happening as they're talking about like the Ice Cream Man being Superman. This is going to be a quite interesting story here. I am very interested now. I thought it was just a cover playing, homage to Superman, and it's not, but it's got like a girl in there that's like Lois Lane and shit. This is going to be cool, man. You guys might want to check out this I keep saying Action Comics because it says Conviction Comics. That's funny. So issue 17 of Ice Cream Man. All right, and next, I'm still behind on this. One day I'm going to catch up on it. This is Farmhand. This is issue 13. Great comic book cover. Always look for the Easter eggs in here. That's what Rob Gullery does when it comes to his, the artwork that's in this book. You can always look for that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and reading this whole thing when I get some time. I've been dialed in on Lock and Key now for the past week, and so I'm trying to get that done before the show actually comes out so I can compare the two. So, all right, guys, next on the list is a couple of books that I said I wasn't going to pick up, but my comic book shop actually suggested one of them, and this is the End books, okay? I dogged all over that Venom book. I thought it was a creative book, but I just did not enjoy the story. It was just too much. It was just like too convoluted, and I swore I wasn't going to get any more of the End books. Well, not only did I pick up The End Deadpool, but I also picked up The End Captain Marvel. Now, when it comes to Deadpool, I was flipping through this thing. I think I'm going to get burned on this one, all right? I'm not so keen on the way the artwork looks in here. And every time I read a Deadpool book, for the most part, like 95% of the time, I get burned on them, okay? So I have no idea what this one is about. It looks like, Wade is doing battle against death. But I don't know what to expect here. So I don't have high expectations for that one. Now, my comic book shop manager said that Captain Marvel, The End, was actually a really good read, and it has a great supporting cast in it, and the artwork is actually really good. So when you open up this book, this is the way the artwork opens up, and that's what you see. So very vibrant colors. If that's Captain Marvel there, I think she looks great. There's some great explosions, great facial expressions in here, just looking at this book at first glance. So yeah, I think this book is actually has some serious potential to be the only good the end book out of the bunch, right? So we'll see what happens with that. And then I wound up getting this Weapons Plus book, World War IV, as it has Man-Thing on there. He's like a soldier or whatnot. He's got like this rocket launcher and gauntlet gun, and this is the variant cover. Again, it was kind of a lighter week, so I was kind of like, oh, what the hell? Why not check it out? It looks like it could be kind of fun. I don't know. You got zombies and creatures. It's dark. It's got a horrific tone to it. So, yeah, you know, why not see a Man-Thing with a freaking gun? I think that's kind of cool. All right, and last but not least, we wound up getting the final volume to Lock and Key. Now, I am really looking forward to reading this final volume. I'm on volume 5 right now, and then once I get done reading volume 6, I'm going to do a complete collection overview of all 6 volumes of Lock and Key. So hopefully I can get you guys to get on this series if you haven't read it before. This has been out for a while now. I think it's like came out like originally 2007, like the first one, or 2008. I don't even know. But I know when I read volume 4, I think that was like the Eisner winner for 2011. So it's got some age on it now, and if you guys are not familiar with the story, you might want to check it out because there's a new Netflix series that's being released on February 7th. So stay tuned for that complete collection overview of Lock and Key. So guys, there is the haul for this week. Now, if there's any comics that you want me to discuss in my live stream called After the Pull that takes place on Thursdays around 12:30, 1 p.m. Eastern time, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to share which comic books you picked up this week at the comic book store, I would love to know. And guys, thank you so much for the love and taking your time and just watching my channel. I think it's awesome. And fans, again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and again, hit the bell so you don't miss any of that content. So until next time, fans, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I'll see you real soon. Take care, webheads.